name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Another shocking factor when it comes to the entire situation is that Judge Ratamu response to the entire shock, because he was really shocked. He really was not aware he was caught off guard also himself. Now, the way he responded to that situation is not Ayoba, I must say. It's not Ayoba, because now Umnisi gets up. It's Umnisi's turn to respond. Umnisi gets up and says, you know what? I'm not understanding what kind of process, what are we embarking? What is the state, what the state just did now, or what the state embarked on just now? I am not understanding which procedure is this. That was Mnisi. As Mnisi was trying to explain that he's not understanding. Okay, before even further explaining, he asked clarity-seeking questions. You guys are saying that someone raised an alibi. He was trying to understand. He did not want to just respond. He's asking who raised an alibi. Now, an alibi is becoming an issue because Mncube never gave an alibi. He put his versions that on that day, in the morning, this is what happened. And in the afternoon, this is what happened. And then in the evening, this is what happened. Those were the versions that Mncube gave. Now, Mnisi's reason for seeking clarity is because he's seeing that something is not going right and my client is being said to give an alibi. And his clients never gave no alibis. They explained and kept quiet. They never said, this is my alibi. Now, the state is changing all of that information and saying it's an alibi. So the alibi issue is becoming problematic because nobody said, this is my alibi. Nobody. They just gave versions. So when I got an answer from a state, which Sibanda got up and said, accused number 3 is the one that said that that day he was with Umabungu and others. So he interprets that as an alibi, sharp. And then Umnisi now in his tracks of trying to understand and responding to what is happening, Judge Rata turns on him and says, you guys want to argue a case and I don't want to be telling anyone how to do anything. Sir, what are you in that courtroom? Now Judge Rata is frustrated because the state did things that he was not okay, that he, in my view, his response is of someone who says, you guys are out of line. The way he responded to the entire situation, he became angry. He became, he wanted to distance himself from the entire situation. He did not want to anything to do with it. He wanted to be very far away. He said, you guys are doing things without me. He said, you guys started arguing. That time, no one argued. Absolutely no one argued. Nobody argued. Ujudge Rata is the one that is bringing up indaba yo-arguisha. No one argued because the defense was trying to understand and he was not giving them any time to actually speak on what was happening. And what shocked me the most is how Ujudge Rata changed the entire narrative to something that it was not. I'm actually going to play that record so that you can listen to him doing what he was doing, which was very unfair, if you ask me, to the defense, because now Judge Rata refused to listen to reason, and Umshololo tried to speak to him and tell him. In fact, Umshololo, I like when Umshololo came in to actually speak, but let's focus. We'll do a separate conversation regarding what Mshololo did, which was very great. Right now, I want us to listen to Judge Rata and hear him melting down. He was having a meltdown at this point. He was having a meltdown because he felt upstaged. He felt some type of way regarding how things moved. He did not like it one bit. That is just me. I'm going there. Okay, this is still. What is the date today? What was the date that day? Okay, 18. Yeah, this is for the 18. That what we are looking for is for the 18. We are looking for things that happened. Yeah.
this is my lord. Furthermore, the number that belongs to
let's
still addressing the
yes.
Oh, must I proceed? Oh, I should. I'm saying, my lord, the number that belongs to Mr. Mabongo Ndui also appears in the set of data that belongs to accused number 3 before court. And it is evidence before court as exhibit triple G1. And then furthermore, my lord, the information that the state seeks to utilize at this stage, it is not information that the state withheld. It is evident. It was only followed up yesterday after the court has adjourned, when we went through the piles and piles of dockets, and then we came across a document in the Cleveland case where this phone number was referred to, my lord, and then we then made a follow-up with the service provider, and the set of information, set of data was made available to the state, my lord.
Lokho-ke akusiyona-ke into ebigodliwe noma-ke abashushiswe bebambe khona ukuthi cha asibanikeze abamyeni, kodwa-ke kusemuva kokuthi-ke inkantolo iguqile izolo la esihambe khona-ke sayobheka sase sithola-ke kona idokodo leliyana lase-Cleveland-ke la le number lena ikhona-ke noma-ke kukhona-ke ushiwoyo ngayo le number, ila khona-ke sesihambile-ke manje saya khona-ke phecelezi kulababizwa ngokuthi ama-service provider laba-ke abasebenza ngabo-ke ama-networks omakhalekhukhwini ukuthi-ke abake basisize-ke la ngalokhu noma-ke ngale mininingwane.
And furthermore, my lord, the Cleveland docket, Cleveland 96 of 2015, was fully disclosed to the defense. And if I recall well, Advocate Mr. Ramasipili, in cross-examination of this witness, also referred to that particular case docket, my lord.
Futhi-ke idokodo leli lase-Cleveland idokodo-ke abanikezwa abamyeni banalo-ke imininingwane elapho-ke banalo khona. Futhi-ke ngesikhathi Ramasipili ehloma-ke ufakazi imibuzo ukhulumile ngalo idokodo lelo lase-Cleveland.
My lord, we submit that the information or the set of data that the state intends to use, it is very crucial for this matter. And furthermore, my lord, the state is entitled for this matter. And furthermore, my lord,
I'm trying to move forward so that we get to Nisi.
The accused raised an alibi. So I don't know which accused are they referring to, who they are saying raised an alibi. Because I don't want to start to waddle and wantonly not having specifically understood the state who is saying the alibi. Just clarifying. I don't guess.
Accused number 3, and we submit that is the one that
that is exactly the misconception that I was referring to. Accused number 3 never raised. You know what? I don't want you to argue the case unless you draw heads about it. Because I am saying I don't want to advise anybody on what and what not to do. I'm seated here as an adjudicator. And the law is clear. What should happen, what should not happen. And if anybody here
is certain that the law says he can do this or that or that or that, he can do it. And if you, Mr. Mnisi, are saying they can't do it, you argue it, you adjourn, you draw heads of argument, you come back, you argue the point. That's how the procedure is. Now you guys are arguing the case before the evidence is finalized, and you want this judge to make a decision. Then you're going to say, this judge, what?
That is exactly the point. So when I stood up, I said, I don't know what is happening here. I actually would have expected the court to raise that with the state, but the court allowed the state to finalize whatever that they were saying.
No, you see,
when I stand up, then the court says no.
You guys said to me, Amasajen, you want to talk something with the defense. Didn't you say that?
That's what I said.
That's why I came out. Now I'm supposed to be the guy who's at fault. And then you said you want to discuss something with your colleagues, as you normally do. I go out. You say, are you ready? I come back. And you want to blame me for whatever now?
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not blaming the court, man. All that I'm saying is the court allowed the states to make their submission.
But I'm allowing
doing the court. What the court is exactly
you. I am saying you have heard your learned colleague. What is your response? That's all. That's all.
Hang on. This is where I say uJudge Ratha wohlulekile. uJudge Ratha is failing this man. uJudge Ratha gave the state an opportunity to actually have a full-blown conversations. They said whatever they wanted to say. And then he never interrupted them, allowed them to say everything, read authorities and stuff. Now Mnisi does a seeking, gets up, wants to clarify who raised an alibi. Sibanda responds, accused number 3. Now Mnisi is trying to respond now to the entire situation, to the entire submission that was done by Usibanda. Judge Ratha blocks Mnisi. Why? He's blocking him. He's getting agitated instead of allowing Mnisi to respond. Now he's changing the cue. He's getting angry instead of dealing with the issues as a judge. Now he doesn't want to be involved. He's distancing himself. He's getting angry and all of that. Listen to this.
No, the court did not say what is your response. The court say, let each one of you do what the state, what the law says they are entitled to do.
Now Mnisi sits down because Judge Ratha refuses to have Mnisi speaking, to have Mnisi doing his work, represent his client, both of them. And he is, hey, Judge Ratha Mokgoatleng is something else, guys, that I can tell you. Now he is angry because his state ambushed him, Judge Ratha, and ambushed the defense. He is okay with the state ambushing everybody else, but not him. He feels ambushed. He's unprepared, and now he doesn't want to be a judge. He's throwing toys. He's having tantrums. He's yeah. Did you see that, guys? But I love what the defense does to him. Let's listen to Mamshololo coming to save the day. Okay, perhaps let's do a separate video for Mamshololo because Mamshololo dealt with him nicely and professionally. I will see you on our next video, but I want you to see what kind of a judge he is. And also, he blocked Mnisi there, and also he refused to become a judge. He refused. There was a chaos. He was meant to resolve it. He refused to resolve anything. That is the type of a judge we are dealing with when it comes to this situation. Now, he needed to deal with the lies because Mubed never said that this is my alibi. He is the judge. He sits there. He should have said, I never heard him saying that that's his alibi. I heard him giving his defense. I heard him giving his versions. Wasn't he as a judge supposed to do that? Wasn't Judge Ratha as a judge supposed to do that instead of being chaotic himself? Because from that chaos that was created by Sibanda, he became chaotic. He moved it to another level. Himself, he became angry. He is angry at Sibanda for ambushing him. He is okay with being ambushed, with the ambush happening to the defense, but not him. That is me. So what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Because now he's mistake. I don't want to advise anybody on what to do and what not to do. What do you mean, sir? What do you mean, sir? And then he tells the lawyers, if you believe the law allows you to do something, do it. What kind of a court judge is that? What kind of a judge is like that? If the other side believes the law does not permit it, object and argue the law, and if necessary, prepare heads of argument and come back to court. That's where he ended up being, because he calls himself, I'm an agitator, I'm not your advocate. Sir, you are supposed to do things to fix all the problems and control everything. Control everything. And I like that UMNISI did not back down. He pointed out that the state was allowed to make submissions. And he says he expected the court to deal with the state before the state effectively finalized its position. And the judge pushed back. The judge essentially said, I asked you what your response was. UMNISI responded that that's not how he understood the court's direction. And suddenly we are no longer just talking about an alibi. We are talking about procedure, fairness, and proper way to bring a legal dispute before the court. Now, here is the question I want everybody watching to think about. Can the state simply label a defense as an alibi and then use that label to justify a particular line of cross-examination? Or must the state first demonstrate exactly what the accused case was? Because those are two very different things. A denial that someone was at the crime scene isn't automatically the same thing as every possible form of an alibi defense. And that's precisely why the wording matters also in this entire situation. This isn't just courtroom drama. This goes directly to the integrity of the trial. If the state says the accused raised an alibi, the defense must ask, as Missy did. He did a legitimate thing by asking when, on what evidence, and what exactly was the defense case. Because once you attach a legal label to evidence, that label can have consequences for what questions are asked and how the evidence is tested. That is why UMNISI was so determined to challenge the state's characterizations of Ncube raised an alibi. But Judge Mesha is clear. He's not saying that the state is right, and he's not saying the defense, you are right. He's saying argue it. But the way he did it is wrong. If the state believes its approach is permitted by law, show the court the law. If the defense believes it isn't, show the court the law, and then the judge will decide. That's the job of the court. But it's how he is doing everything. So this is where things stand. The state says accused number 3 raised an alibi. The defense says, no, that's a misconception. The judge says, don't ask me to conduct your case. Put your legal argument before me. And that leaves us with one massive question. Is this genuinely cross-examination of evidence already before court, or is the state attempting to introduce a new proposition through cross-examination? That distinction could become extremely important. That's all that Judge Ratha needed to do, stand up as a judge. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Advocate Missy was right to stop the state and challenge the claim that accused number 3 raised an alibi? Or should the state simply be allowed to put the information to the witness and let the defense deal with it? Drop your views in the comment section. And if you want more courtroom analysis on the Senzo Meyiwa trial, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification bell, because this legal battle is far from over and the next question could even be bigger than it is right now. Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.